Last week, diaper and sanitary pad manufacturer Kimberly-Clark announced an imminent shutdown of its Ikorodu production facility, this coming 2 years after investing $100 million in Nigeria. Now, sources within the company say that the plant has been producing below capacity from late 2023 into 2024 due to the harsh economic environment within the country. In 2022, the company inaugurated a $100 million production facility in Ikorodu, Lagos State, to restart operations after a similar closure of operations in 2019, following a strategic review of its business.
Kimberly-Clark began operations in Nigeria in 2012, but stopped due to unfavorable economic conditions after 5 years in 2019 to later restart in 2021. Now, the company produces Huggies, diapers, sanitary pads, Kotex, and other hygiene and personal care products. And according to the source within the company who claimed anonymity, he said that the company since late 2022 have battled with high energy cost, raw materials, and reduced demand from customers due to the prevailing economic situation. Now, this has resulted in downsizing and reduced production time from every day of the week to just Thursdays to Mondays, or rather Mondays to Thursdays. Now, the company currently spends around 100 million naira on power generation monthly, aside from maintenance costs, and its monthly fixed spend on operations has risen over 500 million naira.
Now, in recent times, Nigeria has witnessed a string of multinationals exits due to similar economic challenges, and companies like Unilever, Cadbury, and now Kimberly-Clark have either scaled down operations or completely just shut down their facilities in the country. These exits highlight the daunting realities faced by business operating in Nigeria, ranging from high operating costs, inconsistent government policies, infrastructure deficits, to the overall challenging business environment. The impact of these exits extend beyond the immediate loss of jobs and revenue, signaling a need for urgent reforms to attract and also retain foreign investments essential for economic growth and stability.
And now we're joined by Aghogho Udi. He's a manufacturing analyst at Nairametrics, and he joins us for us to discuss the greater implications for the Nigerian economy and its effect on the Nigerian pocket. Aghogho, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Aghogho, what are the factors? What are the factors you think have contributed to Kimberly-Clark's decision to shut down its Ikorodu facilities completely? Are you not even downsizing, shutting down?
Well, I think it's the general factors that have led to exits of other multinationals like P&G and others. We have the high inflation level, which has reduced consumer spending. We also have issues with Forex because most of their raw materials are actually imported. And, you know, with the depreciation of the Naira, their import costs increase significantly. And you can't just throw that cost to the consumer. It leads to reduction in demand. We also have energy costs, energy, gas, because they have, for Kimberly-Clark, they have like a gas-to-power facility. They generate their own power by themselves, so they have to purchase gas, and gas is priced in dollars. So with the depreciation of the Naira, it also means that energy cost increases. So you see they spend 100 million Naira monthly, and that's besides maintenance of the gas plants, the local gas plant that they have, and all of that.
Now, this is not the first exits that we've seen. We've seen recent exits. There are more exits in recent time. From the intro there's Cadbury as well.
There's a GSK.
There's GSK and the pharmaceuticals. Why are we seeing these numbers just, closing shop and leaving?
Well, I think it's a result of a build-up. It's not something that just happened once. It's a result of a build-up. These companies, they have been managing the issues, and perhaps they just look at the Nigerian market and say, if we exit this market, how is it going to affect our general portfolio? For P&G then, they had like the global portfolio is around 80 billion. $80 billion. While their Nigerian market, they just have a net sales of around $50 to $60 million. So they feel that if they leave, it's not going to significantly affect their general portfolio, and it will make them focus on markets where the returns are higher and they can actually provide shareholders with meaningful value for their investment and all of that. So that's why they're leaving.
And then the impact of this multinational companies leaving. I mean, one of them should be unemployment.
Yes, unemployment generally, yes, unemployment. And also, it sends a bad signal to foreign investors who are interested in coming into the country. Because if you want to come and invest in Nigeria and you're hearing that multinationals in Nigeria are leaving, I think it's a bad signal. It's not good.
Speaking of bad signals, then, I mean, well, at first when the president came in, one of the things he said was that to devalue the naira, you know, he was saying that the structure that we had was gone, which was when it comes to FX in and of itself, and also subsidy. Do you think that all those policies by the president contributed to the factors of them leaving?
Yes, we can't divorce that from it. Although we can say that in the short term, those policies will hurt the economy in the short term, but they were needed for long-term growth and stability. Because I think the previous regime, where you had like two different markets, and you see the difference between the official rate and the unofficial rate, very large. It's not sustainable in the long run. And from what we heard, then the CBN was spending significant sums of money defending the naira, which is not sustainable in the long run. You also have to look at what we're spending on subsidy. In 2022, I think we spent around $10 billion on subsidy. It's funds that should have been invested in important areas like education, health, infrastructure, and all of that. So we were actually like subsidizing. And you know, they also say that it was riddled with corruption and all of that. That the figures people were bringing, that okay, I imported this amount of fuel this month does not correlate with what they actually imported and all of that. So I think those were the issues that we were having.
Well, finally, I just want to ask, is there hope for Nigeria with everything that's going on for these multinationals and also for the common man?
These things, they are like cyclical. They happen after some time. For example, if you look at the inflation rate now, which is around 33%, if you go back, you find out that in the mid-90s, we also had inflation rate of around 33%. I think and even worse, in the early 90s, around 1991, 1992, we had inflation rate rise to about 50-something%. So it will happen after some time, then we'll get stability and investments will come in.
Shouldn't the government, there are lots of sentiments about whether the government should step in and try to talk to this, because more multinationals leaving may sort of send a message to foreign direct investors.
Yeah, I think the president has to, not just the federal government, state government and all of that, has to come together to look for a way to ensure that we have a friendly investment climate. I think the president has inaugurated a business forum that comprises of government officials and players in the private sector, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. I think they're going to find a way to manage the whole issue.
Aghogho, many thanks for coming. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Aghogho.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you indeed.
That's Aghogho Udi. He's a manufacturing analyst at Nairametrics, and he joined us today to talk about a very, very pressing issue when it comes to our economy. We'll take a break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about prostate health. Is your prostate healthy? After this, stay with us.